Hi, I'm Paul Pasulka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 6, Section 2, number 23, which reads, which choice is the best introduction to the paragraph? So what do you got to do? You got to keep in mind the paragraph. So we're going to read the paragraph. While the pressures of an aging population, insurance reforms, and health epidemics have increased demand for care, the supply of physicians is not expected to keep pace. The Association of American Medical Colleges predicts a shortage of over 90,000 physicians by 2020. By 2025, that number could climb to more than 130,000. In some parts of the country, shortages are already a sad fact of life. A 2009 report by the Bureau of Health Professionals notes that although a fifth of the U.S. population lives in rural areas, less than a tenth of U.S. physicians serve that population. Because a traditionalist response to the crisis, bolstering medical college enrollments and expanding physician training programs is too slow and costly to address the near-term problem, alternatives are being explored. One promising avenue has been greater reliance on physician assistants, PAs. So, what would you say the main idea of this paragraph is? It seems to be that the demand for doctors is overwhelming the number of doctors. So a good sentence that summarizes it is, in some parts of the country, shortages are a sad fact of life. Shortages of what? Shortages of physicians. We don't have enough physicians. And then it proposes at the very end a solution to not having enough physicians. We need an answer that best matches our prediction, which is a good idea for you to do, is to predict your answer before you look at the answer choices. And so when we go to the answer choices, answer choice A, the term paramedics refers to healthcare workers who provide routine and clinical services. Another thing you can do is work backwards from the answer choices. What would I expect if that's the first sentence of the paragraph? I would expect the paragraph to be about paramedics. The paragraph's not about paramedics. It's about the shortage of doctors and the alternative being maybe PAs, which is just suggested at the very end. Answer choice B, for many Americans, finding a physician is likely to become a growing challenge. That looks good. We're going to keep our finger on that. If there's a shortage of physicians, then finding a physician would probably be a growing challenge. Let's look at the other answer choices. C, getting treatment for an illness usually requires seeing either a general practitioner or a specialist. It is not about general practitioner versus specialist. Answer choice D, worldwide, the costs of healthcare are increasing at an alarming rate. Not about the costs of healthcare increasing. Again, shortage of physicians. B is your correct answer. This is in section 2, writing and language, but really it's a reading comprehension question. You get that sometimes in the writing and language section. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with these reading comprehension types of questions on section 2, writing and language. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments and click subscribe so you don't miss anything. One last thought. Notice like 24 and 25, it's like no change is the first answer, and then you've got your answer choices with no question. Whenever it asks a question, you got to pay careful attention to what the question's asking. If you don't, it's very easy to get the question wrong. Be well, everybody.